Good morning, Heidi Foy here with the NFR Hangover, brought to you by Bullfrog Creatives. Hey, it's go time. So today was just a little bit extra for you guys and for us to be able to have that awesome conversation with Casey Jones and Pro Fantasy Rodeo. But today is the day. Today's day one of the NFR, Wrangler NFR. So we have our prediction day today. We've got a few behind the scenes stories that we want to share with you guys. But before we get into that show, I want to give a shout out to our partners, Cinch Jeans and Shirts, who are doing their very best to make Tony, Jimboy, and myself look good. Probably one of the more difficult jobs going right now. We also want to give a shout out to a couple of partners that we have on the platform, CeeLo Cinches. These guys are located in South Dakota, but they do mohair, cinches, and breast collars. Here's a little close-up version of that. They are on Facebook. They do have a website. So if you want some custom orders for Christmas, better reach out and give her a holler. And of course, we want to give a shout out to Williams Studio. I meant to look and remind myself where they are. They are set up today. Well, I'll just have to tell you where they are. Anyways, they're set up today at one of the many Cowboy Christmases. And I'm betting if you mention that you saw us on NFR Hangover or Bullfrog Creatives, they will extend a discount for you. So give that a try. Hey, let's get right into the show. We've got some good predictions and a couple of stories, and we'll also do a recap of the breakaway roping. Stay tuned. All right, we are back, and we have Tony B joining us. Tony Branquino, how are you today?
I am great, Heidi. Good morning. You know what? It's go time. It's time to kick off the 2022 Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. I mean, all the pre-game's done, the back number ceremony, all the sponsor dinners. The contestants are getting in the zone because tonight starts the greatest 10 days of their life. They've worked 355 days to be here. And now it's go time. This is where they make their money. This is where dreams come true. The first dream was qualifying, but now you're going to be an NFR champion. You're going to be a world champion. You've got 10 nights to win go-round buckles. This is it. This is what your whole year culminates right now. And it starts, it started this morning. When you woke up, you know it's go time. And
yeah,
I'm just excited we get to do our show and talk about it. And we're missing Jimboy today, but
we are. But listen, if you guys, let's talk about that too. If you guys missed yesterday's show, I got an email. Well, I reached out and I got an email. The platform that we use to live stream everything out, I reached out to them yesterday, and it actually wasn't on their end. It was on Facebook's end, and it was all over the place. Any live video that was going on at that time completely lost connection. So if you were tuning in and it dropped and it came back in and it dropped and it came back in, we reposted the whole thing in its entirety on the NFR Hangover page. So go back, watch it. If you guys have any questions, we'll come back to those questions and answer them. But it is important that you know it's in its entirety. So if you were watching Casey talk about something cool and you lost that connection, get back in there and watch it. And speaking of watching, let's talk about what our options are to watch the NFR this year. I know that the Cowboy Channel made an announcement. I don't know when they made the announcement. I watched it on my phone, but they are changing the subscriptions. So to my knowledge and what I understand is there's two options. You can continue to pay monthly and get all the rodeos and all the kind of regular season rodeos, or you can pay $99.99 for 10 rounds of the NFR. If you were one of those people that paid for the full year last year, you get the NFR this year. I think anybody that's going to log on right now and think they're paying $99 to get everything, that's not an option anymore. If I might also be wrong. I don't know.
I know, like last year, I just did the yearly subscription and bundled it with the NFR package, and then it just rolled over this year because I did the same thing when it said, the NFR subscription, $99.99 on top of your Cowboy Channel Plus app. So I went in there and it says you're already subscribed. So my 15-year-old daughter wanted to make sure that I did not mess that up. So
hopefully there's no issues logging in, because I remember like 2 minutes before the rodeo, I had to reset my password. All the things were messed up.
That was that last year. I think they just all of a sudden they just got hit very hard. Like their server got hit, and so what I would say to everybody that uses the Cowboy Channel Plus, on their smart TV, on their computer, on their phone or whatever, I would log in and be on early. Just make sure you're ahead of the game. Just be ready because it's going to happen. And one thing we know about the NFR, once the lights go down and the grand entry, and they're out for the grand entry, and the act's gone, they're kicking the latch and they're getting those contestants in and out of that arena, and it's happening fast. So the great thing about today's
yeah, I was just going to add another thing. Like if you have Dish TV or Direct TV, you can watch it on RFD. You can watch it on the Cowboy Channel. I think if your streaming options are just super limited, but if you have like a cable or I don't know,
a satellite provider, you still have RFD TV as an option. But one really cool thing too that with today's technology through Facebook and all these streaming platforms, even if you can't watch it, you're getting up to date. What's going on in each go around, and it's not the same as getting to watch it. But Pro Fantasy Rodeo is a perfect example. They update it as it's going, so how your team's doing. But even if you don't have a team, you can go in there and see who's doing what, where they're placing. I mean, like I say, I remember when Jim Sharp was going for 20 for 20. Yes, Jim Boy, he has rabbit ears. That's his comment. He still has rabbit ears on his TV. That would be Jim Boy, our third co-host who is not with us today, but he's going to comment. We love it. But, Jim Sharp's climbing down on his bull for going to go for 20 in a row. He's rode 10 the year before, 9 this year. And then ESPN cuts to midget slalom skiing or something, or I can't remember what it was, and nobody knew because, this was before cell phones that were not in the big pack you have in your car. This is, you didn't know. With today's technology, things are happening like this, and you can keep up to date and follow your favorite cowboys and cowgirls. Like I say, Pro Fantasy Rodeo, they update their site all the time. Speaking of Pro Fantasy Rodeo, before we slide on into predictions and who's coming in and what's going on, if you guys are out there and you're going to have a Pro Fantasy team, join our league. We got the NFR Hangover League. Our code is L94860. We'll post it here in just a little bit. But join it. Man, we've got enough people. We're going to be giving the buckle away at the end for the winning team. But Heidi has done a really cool thing with Cinch. We're going to give away go-around prizes, ball caps, shirts. We're not sure yet, but join our league. The more people we have, it's going to be awesome. You're going to really have fun. We're trying to make sure you have some skin in the game and get to really get ingrained in what's going on at the NFR this year.
Yeah. So I was going to log in here and show you guys. Let's see. So we do have the NFR Hangover League. There's your league code. So I'm not going to lie. I didn't say this yesterday because I kind of felt bad. This has been going on for 19 years. I've never done it because I squeak when I walk, let's be honest. NFR Hangover. So if you are new or you've done this before, you've never joined a league, when you go in to create your team, it's almost like after you create your team, you put the league code in, right? It's kind of towards the end of that sign-up process. So don't think you're missing anything. It's just a little bit farther down in the sign-up process. So these are our teams. So we have 16 teams total. I imagine that we'll probably add a couple more today just because I've already heard and seen some comments about adding, like getting in the league. So let's also remind people, you can get in as many leagues as you want. You can
there's no limit on how many leagues you can get in.
No, I mean, listen, it costs more money. I think
hey, the government's printing more of it every day. So I mean, just this $20 more.
So the Mirage Summer Vacation. That's like a prize package that you can win. Cactus Saddlery, Crow's Banquet, and then the league standings here. But you can add mini leagues. I think it's $20 a league.
It's $20 a league, and we had the Pro Fantasy founder, creator, Casey Jones on with us yesterday. So, and like Heidi said, if you missed that show, go back and listen to what Casey said. He's taken fantasy rodeo game to the next level, and he's partnered with Teton Ridge now. And I mean, this thing's blowing up. You can do daily games, you can do the back half 5 game, but join, build a team, and join our league. It's going to be fun, you guys. And it's just, you know what? I'm sure there'll be a lot of smack talk going on between everybody that's in our league, because that's one thing everybody on that list is. It's all about, you know what? I had the better team, and Jim Boy, he's a college coach, so he should be able to pick a team better than anybody.
He could be a good recruit. Wait a second. I mean, you were too.
I'm retired though. I'm a retired college coach.
It doesn't count anymore.
It doesn't count. Nope. I'm a horse trailer salesman and a professional junior or high school rodeo daughter's dad, horse saddler and driver. So that's kind of what.
Yeah. Perfect.
Oh.
So before we talk about each event and our predictions, let's run through some breakaway roping. I think that Martha Angelone, is that?
Martha Angelone is your world champion. She came in leading. She did not
have a great week. Well, 2 days. She did not have a great 2 days, but she came in so far ahead.
She came in so far ahead. She wins the world in the breakaway roping, $130,300. Taylor Munsell, who I believe came in 5th or 6th, had a decent finals. She wins 8th in the average on 8 head. She had 2 no times, wins 2 rounds, places in multiple others, wins $90,845, almost $91,000 for the year, and is, like I say, $40,000 behind the world champion. That is amazing, the money that's out there in the breakaway roping. Congratulations to these girls. But I tell you what, even in the average, Katie Williams, 31.9 on 10 head, wins the average, $13,800 plus for the average saddle, the average buckle. And then the living legend, Larry D. Guy, the only other lady to rope all 10 head. She was 40.01 on 10. I believe she got a barrier. So Katie was the only one to not get a barrier, rope all 10 calves, averaged 3.1 seconds a calf, a little over 3.1 a calf. Larry D. Then we had 3rd through 7th in the average was 1 on 9 head. So just like any other event at the finals, that just shows the pressure in going for those go rounds and running 10 head. It's hard to get 10 caught or 10 rode. And those girls, even roping 5 a day, there's a lot of pressure out there, but it was great watching. Shout out to the Wrangler Network for televising it. It was at the South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa this year. They've got a great facility there, and I wish they could have had the breakaway roping during the finals week sometime, but I know being at the South Point, and the South Point's got the World Series of team roping coming in today to start, that they had to get them in and out. But my goal, and it's not just because I have 2 daughters, the breakaway rope and coaching college rodeo, breakaway roping was one of my favorite events to coach because these girls are fierce competitors. Mm-hmm. But I hope someday soon that these girls get to back in the box inside the Thomas and Mack and run it 30,000 to go round. And it may not be for 1, 2, or 3 more years, but I know it's going to happen because look at the money that these girls ran at. I mean, the go rounds were about 5,000. The average was 13,000. It's a far cry from the 30 for the go rounds and the 70 for the average this year in the building, but it's coming. And these girls are amazing cowgirl athletes, and I'm excited to see where this event's going.
Well, so I want you to say that again. These ladies are running, they're running ragged. There's no cap on the breakaway roping, the amount of rodeos that they can attend. I assume there's no minimum either, but that doesn't really seem to come into play like it would in the men's events.
Right.
But they're running their butts off, and they are not going to have the same kind of payday that you would at the NFR to cover those expenses.
To cover those expenses.
We talked about this when we did our bubble show on the bubble and the predictions in. So I really, really, really think that we're super close. And I know that any woman that has been in this industry at all has seen the progress that we've made in the last few years. And we're not done. We still have room. There's still room for improvement.
Oh, there's tons of room for improvement. And so one thing, and this is last year because, I am, as you know, I'm very vocal on Facebook with my spoiler alerts. And I made a comment that these ladies should be at the Thomas and Mack, and I actually got a response from former commissioner, the PRCA, and he said, "Hey, one of the problems is that this is Carl Stressman, good friend of mine. He said the problem is that the WPRA and the PRCA, they're two separate cards. So none of the money for their card is going into the PRCA. And I don't know all the logistics. He's kind of gave me an overview, but I would like the WPRA and the PRCA to come to get a joint card, make this. I mean, they need to work together. I think they're getting closer to working together."
Questions. So many questions. We do it for barrel racing.
That's a whole nother wormhole, rabbit hole. I don't know the logistics about it, but
it's got to be fairly similar, right? Because I remember I got my little card.
They're grandfathered in, and there was some litigation a few years ago that, if we go back, I don't know, probably 8, 9, maybe 10 years, where the PRCA tried to start their own barrel racing, Professional Women's Barrel Racing Association. 1 year, Brittany Tanazi has a buckle that doesn't say WPRA, it says PWBRA, I believe. But after some, I don't know. This is all just what I think I know. So.
We don't need to recreate the wheel. We just
the wheel's recreated. Now let's just make it better. So, but I think moving forward, the breakaway roping, everybody says, "Oh, it's an overnight success." I've heard people say it. No, these ladies have been toiling away for a long time, and the legends.
They've been hitting jackpots for decades.
For decades. So, but what? It's great. It's great that the breakaway is in Vegas. And these girls, I know a lot of them that were in the top 15 that roped the last 2 days. I've got a buddy of mine. He's taking his 19-year-old daughter. They're going out there from California, and she is roping almost all 10 days because there's that many breakaway roping. So it's big. It's here. It's not going anywhere, and it will be inside the Thomas and Mack sooner than later, and those girls will be running at equal money. So.
Okay, one more jab, as it were. Joe Schmo, that doesn't have this great relationship with Carl Stressman or anybody else for that matter, can just look at this and question, like, well, you already do it for the barrel racing. What's the big deal? So I am more interested in, like, why can't it just be like lumped in with that same contract? So it'll be interesting. I'm interested to see how it plays out, honestly.
Yeah, no, and like I say, I think as it evolves, you saw Tom Glaus there at on the floor presenting the buckles. I see this evolving to where they realize it needs to be in that building because the fans at the NFR are rodeo fans, but the ropers make up a lot of. That's one thing everybody can do as a family. You can team rope. Everybody. Breakaway roping is something you can get your kids into to start, even if they're young men and young and tie down ropers. So I think sooner than later it will be included, and like I say, hopefully it's sooner.
So let's talk about attendance. I mean, I only got an opportunity to watch a little bit of it, and the camera will accidentally get some of the crowd. It looked pretty full.
Yeah, it looked good. It looked good in there. But I just think they would blow the roof off the Thomas and Mack the first time. Larry D. Guy, J.J. Hampton. Can you imagine when Bad to the Bone hits inside the Thomas and Mack for J.J. Hampton? They think it was loud when J.B. Mooney rode last year at the finals. Yeah. When the first time, the first breakaway broke to back in the box of the Thomas and Mack, they will tear the roof off that place.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like being the gunner in that situation is going to be awesome.
Oh, you might see one flat run.
Here we go. So Greg Kernick says contract with LVE has a lot to do with the breakaway roping. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's not even the PRCA and the WPRA. Maybe it's the other. There's a lot of.
It's the other entities involved.
Yeah, there's a lot of entities involved. So.
I know Las Vegas events want those people in and out of that building and back in those casinos right now. So that makes sense. I mean, they make their money with butts in the seats of the casinos, not inside the Thomas and Mack, for sure.
Yeah. So we better.
Rock and roll with some predictions, huh?
Yeah. So quickly, because we got a lot of events to get through, and we have a tendency to squirrel a little bit. Let's start with the bareback riding. Oh wait, I'm really about giving people shout outs today. I am using for all my stats the Pro Fantasy Rodeo Fan Magazine. Mine didn't come yet, but my dad's did, so I stole it from his pile of mail. Well, I mean, they're in Arizona now. It's too
Oh,
cold
well,
here.
they're wintering in Arizona. I got you. Yeah.
Yes, among half of the other Western industry. So, bareback riding. Let's see. I'm not going to tell you who I put on my team for two reasons. It could change. I still have time to change
Got time till tonight, till the gates crack.
But let's talk about. Do you want to talk specifically about first round or overall?
Let's talk about overall right now, and then we can kind of hit on first round. I mean, you've got Cole Rainier coming in with 160,000. He's a little over 1,000 ahead of Jess Pope in second. Caleb Bennett, who has been at the finals a lot of times, but he's never been fully healthy. This year, I think is his best shot. He's only 13,000 out of first, and then you've got the wild child Rocker Steiner coming into his first NFR, wins Rookie of the Year, 134,000. You've got the perennial world champion Casey Field at number 5 with 131. RC Landingham, his 4th trip to the finals. He's having the best year of his career. Leighton Berry 7. Tim O'Connell, 3-time world champion at 8. Tanner Ross at 9. Cole Franks, the college sensation at 10. Tilden Hooper's 11th. Oren Larson 12th. Clayton Bigelow, 2019 world champions at 13th. Ty Brewer at 14th. And Garrett Shadbolt is 15th, coming in with 103,000. Think about that. You have to have over 100,000 to make the NFR in the bareback riding. Wyatt Denny is the first man out at 16 with $98,000. Now, granted, the cost of going is a lot more, but the money in rodeo has increased to where these guys can actually make a living, is how it looks like. But,
Listen, there's a lot of names here that we've heard multiple times that have not quite won that buckle yet.
Right.
I mean, how many times has Brody Kress won the average?
Oh, in the saddle bronc riding, Brody Kress has won it. He's been to the final 6 times. He's batting 500. He's won 3 NFR averages, but he just happens to fall right behind one of the Wrights, that has won the world. But right here.
I mean, that's in every event. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like every event, we're hearing names. So, I mean, almost it's anybody's game.
Well, right now, because Garrett Shadbolt, he's got 103,000. He is 2 go-rounds behind Cole Rainier. The go-rounds pay 29,000, right at 30,000 this year. The average pays over 70,000. So
each round can change.
Even when we get down to the other events, I'm going to jump ahead. Team roping, Junior Nagata's Caleb Drigger's got a $90-some thousand lead over second. Doesn't mean, you're comfortable, but you're not safe because that guy behind you goes off for 3 rounds and wins 90,000. Bless you. And it can change a whole complexity of the world title race. But tonight, so Jim Boy, who is traveling, so we don't get him on here with us, but he is our perennial rough stock guy. I asked him, what he thought about tonight's pin of bareback horses. And his pick is he said Cole Franks on Resistol's Dirty Jacket would be one to pick if you're looking at it. Or Leighton Berry. Let's see who's Leighton Berry has. True Grit. And then, or Tim O'Connell is got Scarlet Bell. So, you know what? My prediction for the first round, I'm going to go with Cole Franks. Like I say, college sensation. He's rodeoing for a good friend of ours, CJ Aragon, down there at Sul Ross University. You know what? I'm going to pick Cole Franks to win the round tonight just because I like the name Resistol's Dirty Jacket. So, and like I say, these are my stone cold dead set. Yes. I probably could be wrong locks. So, yeah,
Listen, I mean, I also think you need to take into consideration that it's the first round. And some of these guys, there's going to be nerves. There's going to be nerves for even the more experienced ones that have been there before. But yes, they may know how to handle it a little better and be able to use it to their advantage. So I feel like that's a good pick. I mean,
he's going to be the
second. Well at the NFR. He's performed well at the national finals before.
The only thing for Cole is he's probably going to be the second horse buck because he's coming in 14th and they kind of buck him, 15th to 1st. Mm-hmm. So the judges may not quite have their footing of where they're going to. That's the only thing I see going against Cole to win the round tonight because he may spur one for 88 points, but in our eyes, and mind you, I'm the best armchair judge there is. I mean, sit at the but the judge, they may not know where it's going to fall for the first round, and the judges got to get their feet wet too and kind of get in the mode. But I'm still going to take Cole Franks as your go round winner.
Are you making like gold buckle predictions, or are we just going go round today?
Let's just go rounds tonight because we're too early in right now. I mean,
that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
All right, watching our time, let's go on to the steer wrestling.
All right. So we got Stetson Jorgensen, who has had a stellar year, $134,000 plus for first. Then you've got the 3-time world champion, Tyler Wagespack, with 123. He's 11,000 behind. JD Struxness is at third with 123, right behind Tyler. Big Will Loomis, he, last year's average champion, reserve world champion in 2021, 119,000. Hunter Cure back to the finals again. He's a 2-time world champion, got 109,000. Big Kai Erickson, after a 2-year hiatus from the finals, is back, your 2019 world champion. Look for him to do something. Tristan Martin making his second appearance there at the Bright Lights of Vegas from the steer wrestling Martin family out of Louisiana, 7th with 104. Dakota Elridge making his, I don't know how many trip to the finals. He's a 2-time average champion with 104,000. Kyle Irwin's back after a few-year hiatus. The Alabama Slammer, he is there at 9th, 98,000. Tanner Bruner, 96,000 at 10th. Jesse Brown, Baker City, Oregon, he's coming into 11th, 91,000. Rowdy Parrott, 12th with 84,000. Dirk Tabner, who's his second NFR, and he had an outstanding first NFR last year and won quite a bit of money. He comes in 13th at 84,000. And if you saw at the PL up at the tour finale deal, he took a bad wreck. And and they weren't sure if he was going to, he had to sit out the rest of the year. He still gets qualified. Timmy Sperring, 14th, and Nick Guy's back again at 78,000. So once again, another event, you have to have almost 80,000 won to get into the finals this year.
So how many rookies do we have in each event?
That I am not looking down there. I am not really sure.
I mean, that's impressive, I think, because they have to you got to buy your permit, win your card, and then keep going strong.
And then, yeah. And I don't know this pen of steers. Like I say, from what I've heard, all the steers have been really good. All pins of steers have been really good.
Talk about that.
I just, the way I look at it, Tyler Wagespack is coming in with something to prove. So for the longest time, nobody went back-to-back with world titles since Oatberry did it. Then Luke did it in 2011 and 12, I believe it was. He went back-to-back. He was the last one to do it. So you're looking to spend 10 years since we've had a back-to-back world champion in the steer wrestling. And Wags is looking to put his name in the history books as a man with 4 gold buckles. He's going to join the likes of Oatberry and some of those guys right there. And so he's on a mission. Talked to Luke a little bit. He said Stetson Jorgensen has been bulldogging phenomenal all year. It's going to be whoever gets off to a great start. And watching Stetson's, his interview at the back number ceremony with Anthony Lucia, he said, I'm going to run at the barrier. I'm going at every one. I'm not changing my game plan. But my dark horse, and like I said, no, we're not making world title predictions, but I think first round, I'm going with Big Will Loomis just because, man, you got to fear the beard right there. That man has got him a beard going on. He is an athlete. He's a great guy. I mean, all these guys are great guys, but I'm going to go with Will Loomis as your go-round winner tonight in the steer wrestling.
All right, let's take a little commercial break.
Perfect.
We want to give a shout out again to our sponsors here, CeeLo Cinches, based out of South Dakota. They do wonderful work, handmade. Listen, these trades are kind of starting to die off a little bit between leather work and mohair braiding, horsehair braiding, and that type of stuff. So it's awesome to see the beautiful quality, the great custom work that she can do. This is one that I just found on her Facebook page. So go ahead and reach out, write that down, CIELO, CeeLo Cinches. We also want to give a shout out to Williams Studio, who is in Vegas right now. And if I would have read, I could tell you exactly where they are. I will be sure to post that. That's my bad. Sorry. Yeah, and then also we want to give a shout out to Cinch Jeans and Shirts. We are super appreciative for all three of these partners in helping us kind of keep going and stay going. This is something that we enjoy doing, and you know that it's a labor of love because we don't make any money. Sometimes we get clothes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna see a lot of the same Cinch shirts. So I've got 2 right now. So team open time. So let's talk about the headers real quick. So this year in the PRCA, we had 5 single season records broken.
In the team rope.
No, and just in all
Overall.
the events. 2 of them were in the team rope. It was the header and heeler side. Caleb Driggers goes into the finals with $227,877. He has, that is, let's see, 70. He broke the record by 77,000. Clay Smith had the record in 2019 with 150,000.
Holy cow.
On the healing side, Junior's going in with the same amount, 227,877. Travis Graves had the record at 147,653 in 2014. He broke the record by 80,000. So these guys, I mean, Caleb's got a $90,000 lead over Clay Tryon in second place. Clay has 144,000. Andrew Ward and Buddy Hawkins are going in third this year in the team roping, respectively the header and heeler side. These are the guys that broke Jake and Clay's NFR average record last year. These guys have been hot, had one of the best years ever, not just at the PRCA, but in jackpots. They won the Lone Star Shootout. They won the American. These guys have been on fire. Fourth is Coleman Proctor with 110,000 on the header side. Then you got NFR rookie Tanner Tomlinson roping his first NFR, roping with 2-time world champion Patrick Smith, who is making his first trip to the finals in 7 years. On the heading side, 6, you got Dustin Egasquiza, 106,000. Ren Richard, 7th with 99,000. Tyler Wade is 8th, 98,000. Junior D's making his second trip to the NFR with 96,000. Cody Snow, your 2019 average champions, got $91,842 coming in at 10th. Then Lightning Aguilera is 11th with 90,000. And I don't know if you've seen the video that one of the rope companies, I think it's Classic, put out when they were breaking his steers. Lightning swings one and hangs it on one. He's roping with Jonathan Torres. Look out for them to go fast every night. The Minor brothers are back. Riley Minor is 12th in the heading with 89,000. Clay Smith, who had a devastating broken leg, happened to him at Prescott this year. But at the beginning of the 4th of July run.
Oh, I remember that.
Bought his way back into the top 15. He's coming in 13th. Better watch out because he's gonna have the green light to go fast. He's roping with Jake Long, who's coming in, I believe, 2nd. Chad Masters back to the finals up with Joseph Harrison this year at 14th. And Jake Orman, NFR rookie, 85,000. He rounds out your top 15 headers. On the healer side, like I say, Junior Nagara is first. Jake Long is second. He won the American He won Houston with Clay Tryon when they were roping together. Buddy Hawkins, like I said, he and Andrew Ward have been on fire since last year's NFR. Jade Corkill back at the finals again. He's roping with Clay Tryon this year. He's at 4th with 110,000. Logan Medlin, he is roping with Coleman Proctor. He's coming in at 5th. Patrick Smith again, Tanner Tomlinson, NFR rookie. Patrick has been high on this kid. I remember last year when they were roping, Patrick said this Tanner Tomlinson is the real deal, and he has been roping with him, mentoring him, and they're at their first finals, together. Travis Graves roping with Dustin Egasquiza. They're coming in at 7th. Jeremy Billard at 8th with 100,000. Levi Lord, 9 on the heeling side with 97. Trey Yates making his 3rd appearance at the NFR. He was your 2018 NFR average champion. Joseph Harrison's back in. He's roping with Chad Masters. They've roped before at the finals. Wesley Thorpe, we roping with Cody Snow. He's coming in at 12th. Brady Minor at 13th with 89,000. Bray Kreitz at 14th, 86,000. And Jonathan Torres. And he had a pretty cool Facebook post. Jonathan Torres makes his first NFR. He's going to be roping with Lightning Aguilera. But Jonathan said it was a bittersweet back number ceremony because if you know the Torres brothers, they do everything together. And Jonathan won, I believe it was Fort Worth or one of them. He won a big one that his brother didn't get into this winter. And then that propelled him into the top 15, but he got into the finals because of winning Pendleton with his brother Joshua. So you know what? Jonathan's got there at the finals. He's excited about it, but at the same time, he misses the fact that his brother's not heading for him. But he and Lightning are going to be deadly in the round. So there's your top 50 headers and healers. Go round wise, I mean, you look down this. Caleb Driggers, what can they say? They've got a $90,000 lead. Do they just grip it and rip it and try to win every round? I could see that happening.
Or, yeah.
Lightning and Jonathan, I saw Lightning just breaking in the steers. Come over the gates one swing and hang it on one from 3 coils back. Dustin Agaskiza coming in without the pressure of being number one. I mean, all these guys going in. Coleman, any of them. You could throw a dart at the top 15 to pick your go-round winners. Tonight, I am going to go with – my pick is going to be – I'm going with Caleb and Junior. I just think they've been so hot. I think they're going to try to put a stamp on this world title and win as much as they can the first 5 rounds. And if these guys get tapped off and they place in the first 5 rounds, I don't see them backing off, but they may have the NFR average record that Andrew and Buddy set last year in their sights and then start gunning for that, because that's another feather to put in their cap. So my pick is Caleb and Junior to win the round tonight.
Okay, so a couple of things. Clay Tryon this is his 20th qualification to the NFR.
Yes.
What's the record for that? I mean, I know that
I believe it's T. Woolman, and he may have 20 plus, or Alan Bach. One of those guys right there, I know has a record, but Clay Tryon is knocking on that elusive door. 20 NFR qualifications since he broke into the PRCA, and that's a lot of miles. The
other thing that I noticed is team roping is heavy on rookies. You've got 3 rookie headers and 2 rookie healers, which I really feel like can come into play, definitely in the average, but also in those go-round wins.
Well, the go-round wins, I mean, like you say, it could be these guys with the nerves, or they could be just like, hey, I made the finals. Here we go. And being out here that we live in Stephenville now, and this is the team roping capital of the world. Man, like I say, I could throw a rock out my back door and hit anybody, not anybody, but I could hit 20 guys that could be there at the finals. So it's ultra competitive. It's ultra tough. And it's going to be fun watching, because at 30,000, I mean, the average is the second most coveted buckle in the PRCA. But at $30,000 go rounds, when you were paying, especially if you're going west, you're paying $6.5, $7 a gallon for diesel. Man, that $70-some thousand average check at the end's great. But if you win 3 go rounds, that's 90. You can win almost 100,000 in 3 rounds.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Oh, Drew Stewart's texting. Where can I listen to the show? All right, I'm going to tell Drew.
My man.
Facebook on NFR Hangover page.
Yes. All right, saddle bronc riding.
All right, so saddle bronc riding. That's another single season record. They got not just, where's it at? I got it here. It got not shattered, but Sage Newman's coming in number 1. He won $253,000 before the finals. He beat the record that Ryder Wright set in 2019 by 25,000. So that's amazing. But once again, he's about 60,000 ahead of Drew just messaged me. I'm a handsome devil, he said. Oh, thank you, Drew. Thank you, buddy. Stetson Wright is only 2 go rounds behind. Now, Sage has been riding phenomenal all year. He is making the most of every opportunity. But at 30,000 a go round, and you have Stetson Wright behind you, nothing is safe. And Brody Kress is only 10,000 behind that, so that's 70,000. Brody Kress is due for a gold buckle. He's a 3-time NFR average champion in 6 trips. I mean, that's 500. That is amazing. Every time you've been to the big show, then you've got Ryder Wright, 2-time world champion, Lefty Holman, who's making his 2nd trip to the NFR. After, he was there in 20 when it was in Arlington, got hurt last year, had a knee injury, had to sit out. He's sitting 5th with right at 150,000. Zeke the Freak Thurston is sixth with 143,000. Logan Hay, his first trip to the NFR, 139,000. Leighton Green, 138. Cade Bruno, 137 at ninth. Kobe Wangchuk is 10th with 131. Wyatt Casper, who's been out with an injury since the 1st of August, but still qualified with 123,000. Look out. If he is 100% healed up, Wyatt Casper could be deadly out there in Vegas. Cole Oshbacher is 12th with 117. Chase Brooks, 13th with 113,000. Dawson Hay, he's sitting at 14th. He'll be riding at the NFR with his brother, 111,000. 15th, Tanner Butner with 103,000. Once again, another event where you had to have over 100,000 to get in. This is the first year, Heidi, that you're not having a Crawley in the saddle bronc riding in a long time. Sterling missed the finals by less than $3,000 this year, and he won $100,000. So
that's insane.
He win 100,000
and not make it,
and not make the finals. That's unbelievable.
So does that speak to the number of rodeos or the increased payout at rodeos?
I think it's the increased payout at the rodeos. I think number of rodeos. I think there's so many factors, but I also think it's the pool of saddle bronc riders is so deep. And if you take a look, and I was watching the back number ceremony. I watched a replay last night with my wife and daughter. And the saddle bronc riders, but I really noticed in the bareback riders, but the saddle bronc riders and bull riders, these guys are training like world-class athletes now. And not just a few of them. Before it was a few of them. They're all training. And a lot of them are using our good friend. They were on our show last year, Doug Champion, with his Champion Living. These guys are taking it to the next level. So, I mean, the pool is just so deep and the money's so good that, it's the guys that get on those rolls. And, I mean, it's really cool. You got both Hay brothers there. You've got the Wright brothers there. And you know what? We're missing Rusty. He got injured. But what I'm seeing, and I saw something on ESPN or something the other day about brothers in the NFL. But look at all the brothers and relationships in rodeo that are at the finals, the connections. I mean, you've got the Hayes, you've got the Wrights. In the bull riding, you have the Kinseys, Sage and his brother. And so I tell you what, it's amazing the connections in rodeo. But let's make some predictions for tonight in the saddle bronc riding. Yeah. Let's see what Jim Boy coached me up on here. I got to find it.
Listen, there's a couple Wyoming boys in the saddle bronc riding, but I would really, really like to see Brody Cress come out on top. He's won the average so many times.
Three times. He's been right. I mean, he's knocked on the door, but I think every time it was one of the Wrights or so, somebody just had a big enough lead in 1 second the average, or it's right there. So
yeah.
So in the saddle bronc, Jim Boy says Cole Ashbox or Dawson Hay tonight. Let's see who. Cole's got stacked deck. And let's see, where's Dawson at? Dawson Hay, what do you got? Where you at? He's got Lunatic Party. I'm going to take Dawson Hay and Lunatic Party. And the main reason I say that is Cole Ashbacher with stacked deck. It's the front. It's at the second horse out. The judges, everybody's, man, it may be a great ride, but you don't want to overscore because you can't go in and adjust them. So I'm going to go with, he's going with Dawson Hay. I'm going to go with, let's see. I'm going to go with Dawson Hay just because, you know what? I trust Jim Boy. And how many people can actually get on here and say they trust Jim Boy Hash? Tony Branquino did. Oh.
It's been recorded now.
Yeah, I'm in trouble now. Wow.
Well, let's talk about a couple other things that he pointed out. So one thing that is super, super interesting, well, not interesting, but it's just a known fact for people that are in rodeo constantly in rodeo. There's so many different things that come into play when it comes to the rough stock riding, because you do have to look at the draw when doing your pick. That, if you have one guy, Brody Cress, we know that he's going to ride good and he's going to do his best. And we also have to look to see what animal he drew, because what is the track record for that animal, for that stock. And so I think the conversation looks different when we get to the rough stock events because of that.
Well, and you can go back, and it's hard to find, and I mean, you have to be really locked into the world, but you can go check rough stock stats, and you can go. I mean, if you want to, you can go see what that horse did. And for me, it's easier to do as we go down, because when these horses come back around, I'm not going to go back all year and see what they do, but I can see what they did in the previous rounds, who had them, where they're at, what pin they're in, and that kind of helps me. So, but and like Jim Boy said, Stetson he might be able to drink a glass of wine while riding tonight, because let's see, I can tell you who Stetson has tonight. Stetson's got Sioux City Sue. Sage Newman's got Rubles. Brody Cress has got Jitterbug. And Ryder Wright's got Caballa Diablo, and that's just a cool name. I like saying that one. So, but, and Jim Boy, he is our resident expert when it comes to horses in the rough stock, and he'll be back on. Don't worry, you guys. I know you guys miss his banter. We miss it too.
All right, let's move on to the tie down roping.
Tie down roping. Here we go. So Shad Money Mayfield, 203,000 this year, new record. The Tough Cooper set the record in 2017 with 190,000. So Shad beat it by 13,000. John Dowsh comes into his second NFR after his big win at Houston. He's got 166,000. Haven Medjid, your 2019 world champion, runner-up to the world last year, is third with 156,000. Caleb Schmidt, three-time world champion, 149,500. Shane Hanchey, he's coming in fifth. So right there, you've got you've got 5 gold buckles in the top 4 between Caleb Schmidt with 3, Haven Medjid, and Shad. There's 5 gold buckles in the top 4. Zach Youngblood is fifth, 125,000. Tough Cooper, going back to the finals again, he's 7th with 124,000. Corey Solomon, he's 8th, 123,000. Marty Yates, and there's one do not sleep on. Marty is going to come unleashed, and if he does at the beginning of the week, he could be a contender and put himself right in that world title race, because he's going to go fast all the time. He's 9th with 122,000. Tyler Milligan's 10th, 118. Riley Webb, 117,000, 11th. Ty Harris, 114,000, 12th. 13th is Hunter Heron, back to the finals for his 3rd trip in a row with 114,000. Maka Murphy, he's 14th with 105. And Kincaid Henry, and this young man has been on the cusp of, they've been talking about Kincaid Henry for a long time. I mean, he was making the American finals when he was, before he could buy his PRCA card. Yeah. 101,000. Here's another one. Cooper Martin is 16th with $101,391. Over 100,000 won and didn't make the finals. And so it's going to be amazing tie-down roping.
You may not be able to answer this off the top of your head, but I'm going to ask it anyways. In 2020, what qualified these guys to the NFR?
In 2020, you know what? I would be guessing. I'm going to say it's probably somewhere in the high 80s to low 90s.
We'll look into that, but I think it just kind of.
And 20 was a weird year, anyways, because of COVID and the number of rodeos and stuff. So that kind of changed that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It speaks to how many changes happened in that year, and we still had an NFR. And comparing them to 2021 to now 2022, like, what did the comeback look like? So that would be interesting to take a look at. I will also say 4 rookies in saddle bronc riding and 4 rookies in tie down. So question, are these rookies like first year card holders, or rookies first time they qualified to the NFR?
I'd have to double check, but I think a lot of them are first time NFR rookies, rookies to the NFR, so that I believe.
I know that this is Rocker Steiner's first year in the PRCA.
No, this is Rocker's first year in the PRCA, and like I say, he had an outstanding year. Yeah. But want to know what I noticed, and I went and looked, and I don't have it pulled up now, but there was one young man in the bareback riding that won 100,000 on his permit and never bought his card. I'm going to pull it up just because.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to go the standing. I don't know.
You can't qualify to the NFR if you don't buy your card, right?
Yeah, but you can't qualify for the NFR. Let's see, bareback riding. Yeah. Kenyon Hayes of Hayden, Colorado won $108,567 on his permit. Never even bought his card for Rookie of the Year. Dean Thompson won $76,000 in the bareback riding on his permit. Ty Pope, $50,000. The top 10, Jason Frost was 6th in the permit standings with $34,000 in the bareback riding. So maybe Kenyon Hayes, who won $108,000, wants to run the Rookie of the Year, and Rocker had such a lead, and your permit money doesn't roll over.
That's what I was thinking. Like they're just saving it because they know.
Right. So when he got on a roll, say he won 20. He won his whatever qualified to get his card, or didn't feel like he wanted to get his card. All of a sudden, he's got 30,000 won. But had he bought his card, that 30,000 doesn't roll over towards your rookie year. That permit money, that was just on your permit. So that might have been why he's like, you know what? I think I'll just wait till next year. So, all right, let's make a prediction for tonight's round of the tie down roping. And I mean, it's anybody's ball game, but I am going to go with Marty Yates. He's coming in 7th. He's got to make up some ground if he wants to capture that gold buckle that's eluded him for so long, and it needs to start tonight. So Marty Yates is who I'm picking for the go-round win. I know nothing about the Cavs. I know nothing about I know the setup. It's Thomas and Mackey. It's go right behind them. But I'm going to pick Marty. I think he's going to get off to a hot start, and if he gets hot, look out. I think the one he's going to have to try to reel in is Shad Mayfield. We know he's number 1, but Shad has not had a great finals in the 3 years he's been there. I think this is a year he gets the monkey off his back.
Yeah.
He's coming in. He's got the gold buckle already from 2020. Now he can just go rope. He's been there 3 times. This is his 4th trip. He knows the game plan. He knows what to do. And so he's going to be hard to – he doesn't have to go at every round, but he's going to go at those Cavs, and he's going to make some money. But my pick tonight, Marty Yates for your go-round win.
All right. We'll wrap it up with the barrel racing. So there's lots of stories behind these ladies. We were talking about, I asked off camera yesterday, there was a question during the back number ceremony about maybe adversity and loss when he talked to Jordan.
Right.
And there was a lot of emotion around that. I didn't know what was going on. You mentioned that her father passed away earlier this year.
I believe that her father had passed away. Yes.
And then there's another gal that lost her good horse. Who was that?
This is where we need Jim Boy, because he is in the know of the barrel racing.
Who knows the barrel racers? Isn't that weird?
Jim Boy's in the know because of his connection with Emily. So
I remember the name of the horse, Smoothie. How do I remember the name of the horse?
Well, Jordan Briggs is coming in, winning the world right now. She's got $177,779. She's got a $50,000 lead over Donna K. Rule. Wenda Johnson's in 3rd with 121. Stevie Hillman's in 4th with 120. Here's I think it's a cool story. Haley Kinzel's 5th with 119,000. And I have not verified this. I don't know, but Haley gave her yellow mare sister a lot of time off. Pulled her out for like 10 rodeos.
Yeah, a lot of time off.
And won 100,000. She might have ran her for a month. I don't know. And then turned her back out to the finals. Shelly Morgan is 6th with 110. Sissy Wynn is sitting at 7th at 101. Morgan Crowther is 8th with 96,870. Emily Beisel, she's there with 93,964. Cassie Mowry is 92,000 at 10th. Bailey Chota is 90,892. She's a rookie this year going to the finals. Brittany Tanazi is 12th. Jessica Rotier is 13th. Lisa Lockhart, was this like her? Is this Lisa's 15th or 16th trip? Is 14th with 84,000. And then Leslie Smell, I can't even say that last name. I apologize, Leslie, is 15th with $84,453. I mean, like I say, once again, the first girl out, Cheyenne Wimberly, had $82,000 and didn't make the finals. And let me tell you, these numbers are high. Lots of money. But we know travel for all rodeo contestants was high. But can you imagine pulling one of those living quarters horse trailers at $6 a gallon diesel? No, it's not fun. But so tonight, it's going to go. It's going to be fast. The ground's going to be, like I say, the NFR, the committee, and the guy, everybody putting it on. They do their best to make that ground great for all the events. We'll just have to see how it plays out tonight. But man, Jordan Briggs, it's hard to bet against her and her horse. I mean, knock on wood, and I don't want to bring it up.
Jordan Briggs, Haley Kinsel, Emily Beisel. I mean, Chongo eats that arena up. Usually gets faster as the week progresses.
Yes.
But even Haley, especially with that time off, I don't know. I say Haley.
Haley tonight. I'm going to go with Jordan tonight.
Strong. Yeah.
I think Haley's going to come out strong, but I'm going to say Jordan because I think she's going to just lay it all on the line tonight. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to be that guy.
There's one thing. I mean, there's one thing that Jordan has kind of pressure from, and she came into the NFR last year with no down barrels for the whole year.
She's coming in again.
Is she again?
Knock on wood. I don't want to be that commentator at the NBA that says, "Oh, Steph Curry hasn't missed a free throw all year and he bricks one." So I'm not going to even. You know what? I'm not even saying that, but I already did say it, so I can't put the genie back in the bottle. But I do believe she has not hit a barrel. That's not. I don't know what for sure. But could you imagine going 2 years? I mean, that's like say going to the free throw line for 2 straight years in the NBA and not missing a free throw. That's unreal.
That's crazy. I'm going to look into that more. I know I remember it from last year, but I kind of just assumed that.
You know what? I'm backing out of my prediction because they go from the bottom up 15-1. Jordan's going to be on the bottom of the ground tonight. I'm going to go with Emily Beisel in Chongo. I think Emily wins around tonight.
Look at you. Your bet.
I'm using this for more than a hat rack today.
That's a good call, though. That's a good call.
All
right, so let's talk real quickly about Pro Fantasy Rodeo.
What about the bull riding? We got to talk about the bull riders.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
they get upset if we don't talk about them.
I know.
All right. We got Stetson Wright coming in number 1. Once again, Stetson had 2 of those single season records that got beat this year. He shattered them. The first one was, where's it at, my handy dandy? The all around or the bull riding. He came in with 320,000, about 23,000 over what Sage Kinsey brought in 2018. And then also the all around. He broke his own record from 2021. He had 320,000 in 2021. This year he's coming in with 378,000. So he broke his own record by 58,000 coming into the finals. So, and watch the deal on Stetson. He goes, he loves breaking records, but he loves breaking his own records as much as anything. That's pretty cool. So in the bull riding, he is coming in with 320,598. Josh Frost, last year's NFR average champion, has 228,000. So he's roughly $92,000 behind. 3 go-rounds. Jeff Askey is third with 183,000. Garrett Smith, who's back to the NFR again after being out with injury for a while, is fourth with 141. Tristan Hutchings, he's coming in 5th. He is, a college champion. He is our good friend CJ. He rodeos for him at Sol Ross. He's 5th with 127,000. Trevor Kastner, 123,000 at 6th. Maverick Potter, 116,000 at 7th. Trey Kimsey, he's coming in at 8th with 113,000. Kai Hamilton, making his 3rd trip to the NFR, is in 9th with 112. Jared Parsonage is 10th with 112,000 also. Trey Holston is 11th, 108,000. J.R. Stafford, 107,000 and 12th. Creek Young is 13th with 100,000. Lucas Morrissey is 14th with 100,000. And Reed Offendell is 15th with $97,943. Knocking on the door, 100,000 to make the finals in the bull riding.
And 16.
Oh, thank you. 16, Cole Fisher with $96,330. For those of you that didn't catch our show yesterday, Jim Boy had the inside scoop. So what it was a clerical error on a rodeo committee in the PRCA somewhere along the lines. Cole Fisher, they didn't count some of his money. They should have. Like I say, you got to go back and watch the show. It was 24 hours ago. I can't remember everything exactly, but he should have been in the top 15, but they'd already announced the top 15. Lucchese Morris.
Yeah.
He's in. Something happened, but both these guys are deserving to be there. The PRCA had to make the right call and let them both in. That was the right call to make. So
yeah. So listen, it has nothing to do with Sage Kimzey.
No, yeah, Sage Kimzey. So if you see, he's got $88,936, and he is in 17th. If you looked early in the year, even when he got hurt, he had 120-some thousand. He would have made it, but he did not go. You've got to go to a minimum of 40 rodeos for your Extreme Bull money to count, because Extreme Bulls are standalone events. Sage won $40,000 at Extreme Bull events. He got hurt. He did not make the 40 rodeo cutoff, and they looked into it. The PRCA looked in to see if there was a clause in their rule book, because Sage Kimzey's a name. He's got 7 gold buckles. He's going after Donnie Gay's record of 8. And Donnie Gay, there's nobody more excited about that than Donnie Gay. Yeah. But Sage Kimzey not being there is actually a detriment to the PRC, and they know it because he's a crowd favorite. But there is no way around it. The rules state you've got to go to 40 rodeos for your Extreme Bulls money to count. So that has nothing to do with the Cole Fisher being the 16th guy at the finals.
Yes.
So tonight, let's see what they've got. I'm going to pull it up here. So Cole Fisher's got Gray Eagle. Creek Young's got Burning Bush. James Stafford, Pendleton Punchline. Oh, man, I really wish Jim Boy was no help on these.
No, he didn't even give any predictions.
Yeah, Stetson Wright's got Total Bull, Doolin, Dalton. Man, Wrangler Chin. Oh, this would be like throwing a dart at a dartboard with all the names on there. I really don't. You know what? I'm going with last year's round 1 co-winner. I'm going with Kai Hamilton on Wrangler Jeans, X 6220 X Wrangler Jeans. I'm going with Kai Hamilton. He split the round last year with JB Mooney. Kai is a young man. He had a phenomenal finals in 2020 in Arlington. Was very close to world title. Gets hurt halfway through 2021 season. Not supposed to come back. Gets back. Gets healthy. Makes the finals. Had a decent finals last year. I think he's back to prove a point. He's my pick for round number 1 in the bull ride.
Yes, I agree.
And like I said, you could take all my picks. They are stone cold, dead on. Probably going to be wrong, but hey, that's why they call it gambling. So yeah. But that's predictions for round number 1, and we'll see how it all plays out. We are getting close to kickoff for Wrangler NFR round number 1 from Las Vegas to Havana.
Yes. So we are a little bit over on time, but I do want to remind you that if you have not picked a Pro Fantasy Rodeo team, you can do so up into the first horse bucks. Once the first horse bucks, you can't play the week game, but you can still get in the daily challenges.
Right. So Casey Jones, when he was on yesterday, he said the entries are open till the gate cracks on the first bareback rider, and then entries for the big game, which is the week-long or 10-night game, close. But you can play the daily game and
halfway point.
And this is something really cool because I've played all 19 years, and man, halfway through you're like, okay, how can I switch my team? How can my healer head for my header this night? I mean, just things aren't going right. They've got a back half 5 game that they're paying. I believe it's $25,000 to the winning team. So you know what? If you haven't been part of Pro Fantasy Rodeo, go check it out. Get a team for the big game. Get a daily team. Get a back half 5 team. Get in a league. It gives you a vested interest in what's going on. So
yeah, for sure. It'll bring a little bit more excitement to this.
And it's great for smack talking to your family and your friends if you're in a league. And Jim Boy doesn't know, but our league is a tattoo league for him. If win or lose, Jim Boy's got to get a tattoo. Yeah, I think NFR Hangover across his chest would be awesome. Just NFR Hangover. And with our faces, you, me, and him. And just, hey, Jim Boy, you should have been on to defend yourself.
That's funny. All right, you guys. So we will be back here tomorrow morning with a round 1 recap. You can join us live on Bullfrog Creative's Facebook, Bullfrog Creative's YouTube channel, and the newly created NFR Hangover Facebook page. We appreciate you guys all tuning in. If you have questions or comments, like, please interact with us. That's the best part. Oh, I see what you put up there. That's the best part, is when we get this interaction. We all have a ton of contacts in the rodeo world across the world, across the United States for sure. So yeah, tell your friends and have them tune in. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.
All right, guys, have a great day. This is awesome. I'm excited.